Yeah.
Hi, everyone. I'm Marla Miller from marlamiller.com, and I'm presenting another episode. I think this is our seventh episode of Marla Miller Talks to Authors and Content Creators. I haven't got any content creators yet. I'm looking. But I do have a wonderful writer, Judy Reeves, who I have known for quite a few years through the Southern California Writers Conference. And while Judy and I have known each other professionally, honestly, it wasn't until I went to her website and dug into her history that I feel like I know even more about Judy than I did back then. Judy has been in the writing life forever. She's had many jobs in writing. However, she then shifted, and even before marketing was what it is today, she and her hubby shifted, or she shifted, and they launched a marketing company together, and that was a good thing for them um, until he was diagnosed with you know,
Yeah.
the C word, and so of course that turned her world upside down, and she decided, and she's going to talk about it. She wrote a memoir. She took it. She had to go to Europe. She just had to get on a plane and go, and that was part of her grieving process. And the title of the memoir that, if you're out there and you're dealing with loss, this is a memoir that you want to read. When Your Heart Says Go, my year of traveling beyond loss and loneliness. And let me give you just a little bit more biography on Judy. She's got all kinds of awards. When she came back from her stint in Europe, she eventually landed in San Diego, where she has become everybody knows her. Everybody in the writing community knows Judy Reeves. I mean, she's all over the place. But let me give you just a few awards and accolades that she has accumulated. She, let me see where it is. She was named Woman of the Year by the San Diego Writers Monthly. In July 10th, the mayor of San Diego uh, devoted a day to, called it the Judy Reeves Day. I mean, that's pretty cool. And Writer's Digest um, gave her the honor of that her craft books were, and I think it's her craft books, but she'll tell us, uh, hottest books for writers. Yeah, it's her craft book. She's got a couple of them. And she's taught at UCSD, and she's also, as I said, has been teaching at the Southern California Writers Conference, I think maybe even longer than I have. And the last thing that I'll say about Judy Reeves is that, like me, she loves libraries. And with that, I will introduce Judy Reeves. I'm delighted to have you on, Judy.
Thank you so much, Marla. I am delighted to be here. Thank you.
So I know that the focus of this show is tends to be interviewing people who have gotten to the writing life or the creative life in
Mhm.
midlife, because as we know, midlife is a big, it's a huge time in all of our lives. And I don't think that we appreciate just how significant the midlife passage is. I wrote a novel that I published that was all about a transitional period in my life.
Mhm.
Um, it's a novel, but it's rooted in autobiography, as I believe all novels tend to be. I mean, I don't know how people write about stuff that they haven't experienced organically, be that as it may. Um, and so when you came back, Judy, from your almost year abroad, what did you decide to do? How did you decide to shift your focus from, yes, you were in marketing, but before that, I mean, you've got a long list of credits in writing. So tell us how you, in midlife, came to be known as one of the most popular writers in San Diego. And that's really the truth. You're all over San Diego. How did that happen? Tell us.
Yes, I when I came back from that journey, I honestly had no idea what I was going to do. I thought I might try to get an MFA. Maybe that would, in
Mhm.
writing. I thought that would be a good thing. Here I am in my little apartment. It's cold in San Diego. I'm trying to warm my bones, laying in the bathtub. The idea came, steamy bathtub, steamy bathroom, candle on the side of the, all moody and stuff. Now what? The
Yeah.
idea came out of that steam and said, you're going to open a writing center. I'm going to
Really?
open a writing center, just like the candle. I'm not kidding you. Marla, the candle fell into the bathtub. I got out of the
That was
bathtub,
a
wrapped
sign.
myself up. I'm
Yeah.
glad it fell into the bathtub and not
I
onto the
love
rug
it.
or something.
I
Got
love
my
it.
notebook, got my journal, and I wrote 5 pages. This is what it's going to be. This is what I want it to be. All my life, I have loved being part of the community
Yeah.
and, bringing, hey, kids, let's do this. Hey, kids, let's do that, put on plays or puppet shows or whatever we do. And so I did. I opened a writing center. It was called the Writing Center. Clever, huh?
And so describe that a little bit for our listeners.
um, I had known about an organization called the Loft in Minneapolis, uh,
Okay.
which is a writing center, classes, groups, workshops,
Mhm.
readings. Um, and I knew some writers because I had been involved with writing groups because of my own personal writing, journal
Mhm.
groups and all of that. So I said, I'm going to invite some other people to come and we'll have classes, we'll do workshops. I don't know what all we'll do. Let's just see what happens. And that's when I got involved with the Southern California Writers
Oh,
Conference.
is it?
So this
So,
is 1993,
okay, I was going to, oh, you have been there a
1990.
while. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I think I didn't actually, but I knew also the Haven Bookstore, which is where Betty Juris, who's one of the founders of
Right.
the conference,
Yeah.
and I knew about that place, and so I kind of wanted to get in with that group. And so meeting them, I invited Michael Stephen Gregory to come for our grand opening and talk about screen. He was teaching screenwriting for
Yeah.
us. Yeah. So this is yeah, so we had our grand opening in 1994, and that's when I became involved with Southern California Writers Conference and Betty and all of those wonderful people and Michael. And I don't know when you became
Uh,
involved
I
with them.
came in 2005.
Oh,
And
so,
I never met Betty, even though,
uh,
my home conference was the Santa Barbara Writers Conference.
yes,
That's
right.
when I shifted from nursing to writing in
Mhm.
midlife. I was just about in midlife. Um, I went to one week-long session and I was hooked.
Yeah,
I wasn't
I
quite
know.
sure what I was going to do with it because I was writing columns. I'm a columnist. I
Mhm.
have a lot of opinions, and I'm able to I'm
I
able
love
to
that about you.
yeah, I'm able to put them in column form.
Hmm.
They tend to be 650 words, and
Yeah.
I was taught that by just quickly. The first editor that I got a byline from, was Huntington Beach something or other, independent. And I presented 4 columns to her that my teacher at UCI had said, pitch these because I think you could be a columnist. And I did, and she liked them, and she called me, and I just had my third baby.
Mhm.
And she said, I really like it, Marla, and I'd like to offer you a position. However,
Yeah, there's always that. However,
my columns were 850 words, which I
mhm.
thought were very efficient.
Yeah,
And she said they've got to be cut 200 words apiece. And I went, what? And I was holding my baby. And she said, yeah, they're gonna. And I said, of course, as most writers do, especially when we're at the beginning of our career without
yeah,
experience, I said, oh, I couldn't cut 200 words. They're very tight. And, they passed muster with my instructor at UCI. And she said, yes, but you're not at UCI anymore. And if you want a byline here, you're going to have to cut them. And
yeah.
I said, well, I'll try. And she said, well, if you don't, I can't offer you the position. And I went, okay, when do you need it? And she said, by tomorrow afternoon.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Was that
So
hard?
yeah, it was really hard,
Ah,
but I learned a lot. And this is what I tell writers who don't want to cut any precious word or sentence. Find people who know more than you,
mhm.
or at least who you think know more than you, and listen to them.
Yeah.
And that's why we go to writers' conferences, isn't it?
Absolutely.
And it's not that we um, trust every single word that a workshop leader says, although I think in the beginning, writers tend to, like,
We find our heroes and
right,
yeah.
we find our heroes, very well
Mhm.
said. But you have to put your work up, present it to people who know more than you do, at least to
Absolutely.
get that opinion.
Yeah.
And so that's how, that's how I started. But when I went to the Santa Barbara Writers Conference, Judy, I just wanted to write a novel.
Hmm. That from early on, I'm going to be
Or,
a novelist.
yeah, I
Yeah,
just
that's
wanted
what
to.
real writers do. Real writers, right?
That's, I bought it hook, line, and sinker.
Too.
And so anyway, it's all good training.
Yeah.
And my concern today, and I don't know if you share this, our young writers aren't getting educated. They're just going online and I don't mean to overgeneralize, but many writers, I have a TikTok, a Reddit group,
Hmm.
and most of my peeps there are young. I mean, young, in their 20s.
Yeah.
And I have, collected data from them over the last several years, and most of them, and they want to write, they want to publish,
Hmm.
and they resist the urge to self-publish, which you can do
Yeah.
anytime you want.
Sure.
But many of them have never gone to a writing club, workshop, nothing. One of the writers came back and said, I went to my first weekend conference, and all I can tell people is what I learned there in 3 days, I have not learned on the platforms here or on TikTok, where I get most of my information. And that's my concern. Writing conferences are one avenue, but finding if you're a writer in San Diego and you're not looking up Judy Reeves, it's your loss because you need to attach yourself to writers who know more and who have a reputation. Do you agree with that? Is that something that
Oh,
resonates for you?
I am still finding teachers, Marla.
I
I'm
know.
still finding teachers, and absolutely. So now I'm with San Diego Writers Inc., which is an organization that I co-founded after the first one, nonprofit, financial, blah, blah, blah. But
Okay.
yeah, so San Diego Writers Inc. And one of the things that we want to do is to attract younger writers. What can we
Yeah.
offer so that they will come? Because we want to have that community. We have a lot of midlife, and
Yeah.
older. And we have young writers too. And in fact, I'm seeing more and more of the young writers now.
Good.
And that's exciting.
Yes.
And there are a lot of open mic readings around San Diego. But yeah, find a group, find some people, find your community
Find your
because community
community.
makes all the difference, all the difference.
And within that community, you will likely find a mentor or two.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And boy,
Yeah.
do we need them. And I
Yes, we
think we
do.
need them more now than ever because there's so many more people who want to be a published writer.
And I think I heard you say I'm not sure if it's with Dennis Crosby or when you were with Jennifer Redmond about the number of books that have the publication that have gone from when you first published to now, how many
Yes,
the increase in the number of books because of we can
because we
there's so many
can.
avenues because of self-publishing, because we can go online, because of
Yeah,
all, yeah. So there are a lot of opportunities. I also see sometimes a rush to publication, which concerns me. Like it's not ready yet, wait a while, learn some more, work
yeah.
on this a little bit more.
Put it down.
Yeah,
Pick it
yeah,
up in a couple of weeks
yeah,
with fresh eyes.
yeah, one hopes. Yeah,
One
yeah.
hopes.
But yeah, I mean, so a lot of the groups that I have been in and that I have led, I'm in one right now. I think we're 3 or 4 years old. I was in a writing group when I was writing a novel with Janet Fitch for 5 years. I've led writing groups for 5 years,
Yeah,
Yeah, I've done a lot of memoir work, which is not so many young writers as it is older writers. But
sure.
yeah,
You worked
but
with Janet Fitch.
I did. Yeah.
She's one of my heroes.
Isn't she fabulous?
She's fabulous, and I don't know that she's doing it anymore, but on Facebook every Wednesday at
Yeah,
3 in the afternoon,
there
I
she
think.
is.
I was
Yeah,
there for
yeah.
a couple of years.
She's still doing it.
Is
Yeah, she's
she?
still
Yeah, I've
Writing
lost
Wednesday, I think she calls it.
Writing
Writing
Wednesday.
Wednesday. Yeah.
So for listeners, if you're on Facebook, you definitely want to look up Janet Fitch, Fitch,
Yeah.
and Writing Wednesdays is it's free.
Yeah. It's on YouTube too. You can catch it on YouTube.
Wonderful.
Right.
All right,
Yeah.
so now that we're kind of in the craft area, tell me about your craft books. What was the first one and title that you, because you've got a couple.
Yes.
Tell us about
The
them.
first one is Writer's Book of Days,
Okay.
a spirited companion and lively muse for the writing life.
Okay.
I love that subtitle. I got it from, hey, give me ideas for subtitles, my
Yeah.
friends. So that came, I have done for more than 30 years what I call drop-in writing practice groups, where you come for an hour, just come, drop in. We'll give you a prompt. We'll write together for 15 minutes, 17 minutes, read your work aloud. You're all done.
What a
And
great idea.
yeah, and so I started doing it when I had the writing center. I did a Tuesday brown bag group and I did a Thursday group. And
Okay.
so out of doing those for 5 years came this book, which included a prompt for every day of the
Um,
year. If you tell me your birthday, I will give you a prompt. Hold on.
okay.
Okay. Okay.
June
Here's,
twenty-sixth. Okay.
okay.
A
A writer's
writer's book
book.
of days. I hope
This
you
is
have
the
all your
second
books
edition. This is
that you can show us while we're in this interview. I'd love to see them all.
okay. What's your birthday?
June 26th,
June 20. Oh, coming up.
coming up. I don't
Coming up.
celebrate my birthday though.
You don't?
I don't do that publicly. I don't do anything publicly.
Hmm.
I just do, you know, the social media world gets to see one side of Marla. I
Yeah.
keep all of my private stuff private. I always have. Because
Good for you. So
well,
many
you
of
know,
us.
my background is in psych, so I know a lot
Right.
about paranoia and I've absorbed a lot about. So I'm paranoid. I've always been paranoid. Uh,
Well, I think I wish more people would kind
really,
of not share so much of their
it's like
public.
I don't need to know all that.
Yeah,
You know, I don't want to know all that, but there's lots of, and I'm just not one of those people.
yeah.
I will tell you my truth through my novels,
You tell me your what?
truths through my novels.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, absolutely.
I mean, if you want to know about Marla Miller, read my two
Hmm.
novels,
Hmm.
and it'll give you at least a sense of
What
what's
matters?
what matters
The
to me.
emotional truth. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And some of those experiences, as you said earlier, who can write a novel without, including themselves and their
Exactly.
experiences and their emotions? Yeah. So here you
All
are
right.
for June 26th.
Yeah.
Write about being unable to sleep.
Oh,
So, so, so this is,
so funny,
what we
Judy.
do.
I
That's
was
what,
just talking to a friend because we're older. I never had trouble sleeping, or when I woke up, I could go right back.
yeah.
And I was just, honestly, I was just talking with a dear friend of mine, and we're both complaining about
Hmm.
aging in that there's really good stuff that I'm loving. It's a freedom. I just feel more autonomous than I ever
Yeah.
have. But
Yeah.
I think one of the reasons is because I've always been with partners,
Yeah.
and I'm not now, and I like it. I didn't think I would, Judy, but I do. Anyway, so there might be another novel coming out.
Yes.
However, I can't sleep.
Hmm.
You know, I'll go to sleep and I'll wake up at 3.
Yeah. 3 o'clock. There's something about that
What
three
is it
o'clock
about
hour.
3 o'clock?
I don't know. I've seen headlines. You want to know why you wake up at 3 o'clock? I haven't read to find out, but yeah.
Isn't that weird? And my friend,
Isn't it?
we were both complaining about that.
Yeah.
And a couple of other things, you know, like whatever. We don't have to
That's the
make this.
personal stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
But yeah, sleeping is an issue, although we do live in California and I do like gummies and gummies help quite a bit. That's as personal as I'll get.
Yeah. Okay. I'm a nap taker.
I can't nap.
Oh, I love a nap.
So you can lay down and just nap?
Wolf naps. Wolf naps.
Really?
They last about 20 minutes.
Is
You wake
that? And you feel better.
solid slide, and then I'm awake and ready to go again.
That's
And then I have
interesting.
caffeine along about 6 o'clock. I have a cup of coffee.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Interesting. Um, well, we're writers, you know, coffee and working,
Yeah.
especially if you've got something that
Have to get out there.
you
Yeah.
have to get it out because if you don't, you
You,
know, again, this is advice to listeners. don't think you're going to remember these pearls.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
you always have to have some pad and paper. Now we have our iPhones. You won't
Mm-hmm.
remember, you know, and I
No.
used to think in my younger years that oh, that's so good. How could I not remember that? You know,
Yeah, it's like your dreams. You think you'll have them forever. It's like, dew on the morning grass. It dissipates.
it's
So
really
yeah,
true,
I
really
love
true.
that happy hour coffee. I take my notebook, I find a cafe. I have about 7 of them within walking distance of my house.
Nice.
Go to the cafe, get my coffee,
And
do
you
some
can
writing.
write in a public forum.
Oh, absolutely. It's the
I,
best.
is it?
For me,
I've never tried it, Judy.
yeah.
Never. I've never tried it, and I've always been amazed that people can do it. Gail Carline, who is
Hmm.
a writer from the Southern California
Right.
Writers Conference that I've interviewed, she goes to cafes.
Hmm. There is something that is called the coffee shop effect.
Really? Tell
Hmm.
us a little
This
bit
is
about that.
this is psychologically, written about. I mean, it is a thing. It's been studied, and studies have been made and published about this. I wrote one of my Substacks on it, the coffee fact, because I have been forever and ever going to cafes. So it has something. If you go to a cafe, and there'll be tables and tables and tables. They'll be filled with people. They're on their laptops or
I
they've got
see
their
them.
notebooks. Or yeah, you see them. We're all creating together. The name of my second craft book, sly little plug here,
Yeah,
Writing
no,
Alone,
no, I want you to plug it.
Writing Alone, Writing Together. That is the idea of community. Once again, like my drop-in classes, there's an energy that is emanates from all of us doing our creative work that is picked up by others. It floats in
Interesting.
the room. Yeah. And so I don't have it here in my house, but I
You
have it
don't.
out there. I can do it. I can write by myself here in my house or go away on a retreat or something and write by myself. But that spontaneous kind of something, sometimes there's music, in the background,
Yeah,
but
and
you
it
don't hear
doesn't
it.
distract you,
Sometimes
Judy?
people are talking and
Yeah.
you don't hear it. There's an energy that is emanated from others that our own creativity, our own that whatever it is that sparks that picks up on and just says yes. If we allow it, it's very easy to get distracted,
Well,
because there's some interesting people watching,
exactly.
right? Which
And
is good also for
it all, I
character.
was just going to say, writers are
Yeah,
nosy people by
yeah.
nature. We're
Oh, yeah.
just
Oh,
nosy,
hell yes. Eavesdrop is
right? We
perfectly,
eavesdrop all the
we
time.
encourage that. Yeah.
Absolutely. But
So,
I'm gonna say this to listeners that if you're experiencing any kind of a writer's block or you
mhm,
want more and you're not finding it at your computer at home,
yeah.
I would suggest that you take Judy's advice,
Hmm.
take thee to a coffee shop and see if
Yeah.
that doesn't shift.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, you know what? I'm going to try that too. I've got a coffee shop right here. I
There you
go and
go.
buy a cup, but I never sit.
Yeah. And the cookies help too.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Now, do you have all of your books so you can hold them up for us, Judy?
Um, I can go over there and
Go
get
and
them.
would you? I meant to tell you to do that before,
Okay.
but yes, I would love for
Okay.
you to do that
Okay.
because when authors are on the show, we want to give their books a little plug.
Okay. Now, so the Writer's Book of Days, it's a second edition, but
Okay.
it has just recently gone out of print.
Okay.
All my craft books are with New World Library,
Okay.
which I have just had a lovely long. My first one was published in the first time in 99. So, and my last one was published with them in 17. So my second book, Writing Alone, Writing Together,
Neat.
a guide for writers
It's a good
and
looking book.
writing groups.
It's a good
Yep,
looking book.
yep.
All right.
That same, the flying book here,
Okay.
and here we have this book, which is
Fabulous. And
open.
so,
Yeah.
so what do you, what made you decide that you wanted to write a craft book? Because you had all of these snapshots in your head that you wanted to put together for,
Yeah, and I had been teaching as well and teaching a lot of craft. And so I quote a lot of writers. I did a lot of research, uh,
you have to.
with other writers. I write about, well, in Writer's Book of Days, for example, um, I will write about um, there are guidelines for writing practice, how to start. Why write by hand? I recommend that sometimes.
Hmm.
Pay attention, writing from the senses, auditioning words is some of the topic. Self-sabotage, what we do to ourselves. Um, Invoking the muse, what do you do for that?
What do you do for that, Jude?
Invoking the muse,
Hmm.
I go to coffee shops. I go to
Okay.
cafes.
Okay.
I also read poetry. Some people listen to music. Stephen King, right? Rock and roll in his ears the whole time he's writing. Other people, do you
It's
listen to
amazing.
music or something when
I
you're?
I don't listen to anything.
Mm,
No, I don't.
no,
I just sit with a legal pad.
yeah,
So I write, yeah, I'm old fashioned that way. I just think it slows me down because
yeah,
I tend to have a rapid, I think very quickly and I talk fairly rapidly.
mhm,
And
yeah.
one of my mentors, in fact, Charles Schultz, he's right up here. Um,
Love it.
he said, I was talking to him one day up in Santa Barbara, and he said, legal pad. He said, your mind races too fast. He said, I can tell you're a really fast uh, talker. Just try the legal pad and see if it doesn't slow
Mhm,
you down. And you know what? It does.
yeah.
And I like that. However, I've been getting
Oh,
uh,
I lock
trigger
up.
fingers,
Yeah.
trigger fingers.
Hmm.
And it's from writing.
Yeah. I call my calluses honor. That's
They
a
are
writer's badge of honor to have the calluses on my thumb and on my
indeed.
right there.
Indeed.
Yeah.
You mentioned something that caught my attention, self-sabotage. You want to talk a
Mhm.
little bit about that? Because I know that there are people who are listening to this will relate to it, as I do. Go
Yeah,
ahead, talk a little bit if you
self-sabotage.
would.
Well, uh, procrastination, for example. I
Hmm.
can always, and that's another thing about being at home. I can always find something to do.
Amen.
And so, okay, I'm going to do this and this and this, and then and then I'll get my writing. Oh,
That's a
I
really
didn't get
good
that
point.
done. So okay, so I'll write in half an hour, but first I have to do this. If I go to a cafe, I'm going to sit there. I got my notebook. I'm going to write. So
Interesting.
that's one thing that we do is we put it aside. We don't make a specific time for it. That is, a lot of people say, "Well, I'll wait until I'm inspired to write." No, sit
Yeah.
yourself down. Inspiration will know where to find you, you know?
Well, eventually, and I think that Anne Lamott talks about that in Bird by Bird. I certainly related to it. She said, if you're waiting for inspiration, you might wait forever.
Yeah,
So what I recommend is what was recommended to me. You write a shitty first draft.
city
It's
first
okay.
draft.
It's okay
Yeah,
if it stinks.
it's going to. It's a first
It's
draft.
going to. Although some writers, and they've been in my workshops, have said, no, once it's down, it's down. And then I'll say, well, good, read the first 5 pages
Out loud.
out loud.
Yeah.
And sometimes it really is. I
Sometimes
mean,
it can be.
it
Oh,
can be.
to get that perfect sentence, to use just the right word at the right time, and you go,
Yeah.
"Phew," that feels so
Yeah,
good.
absolutely. Where you're
Feels
patting
so good.
yourself on the back.
Yeah.
I have this
I know.
scene about there's on one shoulder is an angel that's telling you, God, you're good. That's just a fabulous paragraph or essay or whatever. And then the other one is the devil who's saying, who you kidding?
Oh, yeah.
Right? And we all suffer from, I mean, that is a writer's
Yeah.
persona. And I think even writers who are very, very accomplished,
Hmm.
battle with that.
Oh, I think so too. I think every creative person does.
Yeah.
We question ourselves because maybe there's a perfection that we're striving for that's never
Attainable.
it's not available. There's no such thing, right?
No, there isn't.
Yeah. So,
Although I'll tell you, I read some writers.
oh,
I'm a huge fan of Jodi Picoult right now.
mhm.
She's got 30 novels, and I've read in the last year maybe
Wow.
8 of them. Um, I can't imagine her ever having a devil on her shoulder telling her she's not good enough. I just can't imagine it because she is so good. But again, this is why writers at every level should read, read, read,
Good writers. Find
right?
find one who speaks your language, and then
Um,
also find one who, you don't know so much and pushes you a
Exactly.
little bit. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm
So like
gonna
Jody Picoult, okay, now try some Virginia Woolf, right?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm watching the time. I don't like to make these too long. This has been
Oh,
very enjoyable,
oh
but
my
I
God.
want you to talk about what you're working on now and anything that you want our listeners to know, Judy. It's all yours.
Okay. Thank you.
Hmm.
What I'm working on now, Marla, is I'm going to call it a novel-like thing.
Okay.
And it is with five protagonists, five women. And
Oh.
these five women, and I have been to your pitch witches enough, so I'm not going to tell you, and then happens, and then happens, and then happens. But I have heard so many women, especially at this midlife time, say
Hmm.
to their friends, you know what we should all do? We should get a place together and have all of our houses there, and we could have kind of a compound. And
Hmm.
when I talk about this novel that I'm writing and I tell women about that, their eyes light up. Yes, my friends and I talked about that. We want to do that.
I've talked about it.
I tell you, so many women have, and especially
Hmm.
single women,
Hmm.
women who are independent and they also know, you know, they are friends, people who are like us, other writers. So I have this collection of women who are talking to me now, and they do get this place. And I love what's happening to them. I love who they
So
are.
cool.
Each one of them is so interesting to me. And it's a joy to
Can
go
you
to
give
the
us just a
cafe.
few, like a profile, a mini profile of the women, or is it too soon for you to share
No, no,
that?
no. There is a writer. Surprise.
I'm shocked.
She has had a pretty spicy book published. She is in the course of the book, she is accused of wrongful death of someone, and this has to do, if I can say, in her. Okay.
Whatever you want to share or not.
Okay. Okay. So her book is pretty spicy, and there's the women in the book use vibrators, and so at her book party she gives away vibrators, and a woman dies while using one of the
Get a
vibrators.
heart attack or something?
We don't know exactly. That's the
Okay.
wrongful death. So I don't know where the hell did that come from. I don't know.
The
I
creative
don't,
mind.
but it just makes me laugh so hard because
Wonderful.
I know some women who are they're so much fun around that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. So she is one, and I have 3 points of view, and
Okay.
two who are, yeah. So she's one of the
Supporting
main characters.
characters more?
Yeah,
Okay.
she's one of the main. There's a yogi, organic gardener, who my
Okay.
friend who is an organic gardener said now she must have a worm composter. So I have to study about worm
True.
composters.
Yeah. Yeah.
So she's a yogi, and she's going to have her organic garden. There's a performance artist, Georgia. Oh, you will love Georgia. I love Georgia. She is outrageous. Georgia gets arrested um, in the course of the book. There's
Already my interest is piqued.
she does some wild things. There is also the Annie, who is the travel women's adventure travel photographer.
Mhm.
And they have met at a yoga retreat that one of the characters was leading, and these other characters all come, and Annie is the one who's taking photos for a magazine. The other character, the one who is the mystery to me, and she's so interesting, she is a professor of humanities with a
Mhm.
particular interest in the Greek myths.
Really?
Yeah, and she doesn't, she's not telling me her secrets yet.
As you're talking, my belief about creative writing is that characters are, for me, characters are the most important
Hmm.
parts of my story. It's not the plot. It's not even the protagonist, although usually the protagonist speaks
Yeah,
to me first. But character development, it's everything.
yes.
And that's
And
what you're talking about. And
that's what
so
I'm talking about. Yeah, getting
again,
to
if
know these
listeners,
characters. Hmm.
you so if people are just starting their writing journey, if you've got some crazy characters or you've got characters that they keep whispering in your ear, pay attention to them.
Yes, listen. Yeah.
Mhm.
And readers too, Marla, and I know you know this as well as I do, probably better. They want to connect with human beings. As
Absolutely.
a psychiatric nurse, you know these things, how we need that
Absolutely.
human connection. And so that's what they want to find in our books when they go to our books, like, how can I connect? Who can I
Really true.
connect with? Yeah,
Absolutely.
exactly.
And so how far are you along? We'll end this with there's
Okay.
more from Judy Reeves coming. How far along are you with this?
Very early stages.
Okay. All
Okay,
right.
I'm finding the characters and I'm finding what each of them what they want
What the stakes are?
and what
Hmm.
they want and what they really want,
Hmm.
what they need internally,
Hmm.
and then how they relate with each other.
Very cool.
So it's so much fun. As you know, playing with characters, yeah.
I mean, it's the for me, it's everything. I was starting another novel,
Mhm.
and actually, I'm called Danny Ends Up Dead, and I love the title. And I realized that I love the title more than I'm loving the writing. And I've been at this for a while. And
Say the
someone,
title again.
Danny ends up dead,
Oh,
and he ends up dead in the first chapter. So we're fine.
okay.
Now it's let's figure
Oh,
this
well,
out.
we
Yeah,
are, but Danny's not.
yeah. Danny's not,
No.
and I loved it when I first started it, but life kind of, we had COVID, blah, 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 all of that.
Mm, yeah,
And so this woman, Judy, and again, if you're in the writing life, you totally understand this, so we don't have to explain it. This woman starts talking to me,
yeah.
and I'm going, well, how can I fit her
Hmm.
in Danny Ends Up Dead? Because that's what I'm working on, damn it, and I'm going to finish it. And I have to tell you, she just keeps talking to me and talking to me until I put Danny aside, and I'm in the very early stages, but she's
Mm,
taken over. Now, maybe she will dovetail or intersect with Danny Ends Up Dead at some, I don't think she will, but maybe. But I'm going with her.
yeah, you keep writing until you find out, right? The
Exactly.
surprises. I love the
I
surprises,
do
don't
too.
you?
I
Yeah,
do too.
yeah,
It's a crazy life that we have chosen to love as well as sometimes we can't stand like it's right. Like
Oh,
any other part of life. I
yeah,
mean, there's no
yeah.
profession that you
It's
can
not
go in,
easy. I mean,
right?
you don't make a living,
You don't
you
make a
know,
living. No, you
not as a
don't.
novelist, not as a novelist
No,
who keeps putting her novels under the bed.
that's
Anyway.
exactly right.
Yeah, yeah,
That's a good place for us to end. That you just keep, if you really want to write something that you can feel proud to get published,
yeah,
whether you do it yourself or whether you find a small press or whether you reach for New York,
yeah.
the literary society there, you have to protect it. You have to honor it. You have to
Honor.
listen to
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
and and also have a day job to pay your bills.
Right.
Or when I wrote a lot, I was married and we were doing well, and I had the luxury of
Mhm.
writing because my columnist job at the
Yeah,
Register, it paid a nice little, but it was a monthly salary, and it
yeah.
certainly wasn't. So we don't do it for money.
We don't do it for money. We don't do it for fame. We do it for the joy
Yeah, and
that
because we have
happens.
to, and we
And
have to
because we
write,
have to. Yeah,
right?
we have to write.
And if you don't have to write, then you'll know that too. You'll give it
Yeah.
up.
And there's some other creative something that you can do. It's like
Perhaps.
Abigail Thomas now. She's drawing pictures. She's a
Absolutely.
beautiful writer. And now she says, I don't write anymore, but she does. She writes and tells us about the pictures that she's drawing. So, yeah,
the creative mind is, I love the creative
I
mind,
do.
and
Yeah.
I'm brought up, I have my degrees in analytical thinking and science,
Mhm.
um, but and I loved it when I did it, but I sure burned out on it.
Yeah.
And I've been doing this now for a couple of decades and I ain't burned out.
No. I'm
So
going to
I
keep
think
doing it
that's
until they
us.
make me stop.
Right. Until
And
they
I
make,
dare them to try.
I love that, Judy
Right?
Reeves. This will be up on YouTube. It will be on Substack. It will be on Marla Miller Hooking Readers. I'll put snippets of it up because that, tends to be,
Yeah,
people are busy.
yeah.
Um, and eventually, what I have said when I started this podcast is
Hmm.
that I want to get it, if there's legs, I want to get it to the big time.
Yeah,
Um, because I think that there's a very large audience of writers and wannabe writers and writers who need some guidance and some
yes,
advice
absolutely.
and some inspiration. And that's what
Hmm.
I'm hoping Marla Miller Talks to Authors and Content Creators provides for them. Because, like you, Judy, I really dig uh, facilitating and teaching the writing community. I just like it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's very rewarding.
It's my,
I will have your website, which is judyreeveswriter.com.
yes.
I will have your Substack up there, and I will put where you can find your books.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Judy Reeves, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me.
Marla,
I
it's
enjoyed this.
so much fun. So
It
much
was fun.
fun.
And that's the point,
Yes.
to have some fun with our craft.
Thank
Again,
you for
thank you
inviting
again. And signing off, Marla Miller at marlamiller.com
me.
and judyreeveswriter.com.